Severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, I know, big name, also known as COVID-19, has been a hot topic over the year of 2020. If you haven't heard of it, you've been living underneath a rock. This is what it's been looking like. I also want to briefly mention that COVID-19 is a virus. I will not specifically go over COVID-19 in this video, however, it is important to note the fact that it is a virus. The importance of this fact is that the virus can mutate very, very rapidly, so it is important to follow the science behind the topic at hand in order to act accordingly when complying to social distancing protocols. So what actually is social distancing? So let's have a definition.
Social distancing, also called physical distancing, means keeping a safe space between yourself and other people who are not from your household.
I'd like to return to that word later. The CDC stated that a minimum of 6 feet of distance between each person is recommended. However, as of September 21st, 2020, they stated that airborne droplets, the way the virus spreads, carries more than 6 feet, and that's something to be wary of. Something that you commonly see in restaurants and stores is the number 6 followed by the body part feet, as it is the distance that we should stand away from each other in order to not spread the virus so easily. This is mandated by the state government, and our society, in hysteria, picked this up and ran with it. And when I refer to our society, I'm referring to the US, and that's where I live. Now hold on to that word, hysteria. I need another textbook definition.
Hysteria. Exaggerated or uncontrollable emotion or excitement, especially among a group of people.
And this is the concept I want to focus on in this video, hysteria.
The first thing you may notice is the lack of compliance on guidelines set by a higher power. Speaking from experience, that's just how a lot of people in the US are. They don't like being told what to do. This can apply to anywhere in the world, however, I'm sticking to the US right now. Why is it that they may resist? Could it be a rejection of science? Or rejection of authority? Or even just being based on preference? I really don't know. I guess it just depends on the individual. Now let's look at other countries around the world. China flatlined the curve since its peak in mid-February, 1 month after the initial outbreak, resulting in so much less casualties than the US as an example.
But how?
This has to do with government enforcement and compliance to said enforcement. Like many other countries, China placed countermeasures on the pandemic in order to combat the virus. Don't go outside, avoid contact with others, travel bans, no winter break, no Lunar New Year celebrations, all of it on hold. So you may be thinking, hey, we have that too.
Yeah, barely. The US struggled to enforce and we didn't comply. If someone in Wuhan didn't comply, they would face huge consequences. For an example, in the UK, you would be fined a hefty amount of money if you were caught disobeying disease control protocols, yet they're still having spikes. So it's really about compliance. The leader of the United States, Donald Trump, has stated on many occasions that the coronavirus will just go away.
It's going to disappear. You know it is going away.
Oh, sorry, that's just my truth meter. The truth meter's going bonkers. It's at a whopping 10%.
Over time, the amount of cases and casualties can eventually diminish. However, what matters most is the compliance and patience our society must hold in order to fulfill that. You can't just ignore this. This is what happens when you do.
Alright, listen, I get it. This change in lifestyle is hard.
Doing what the CDC states can go a long way in terms of self-sanitation. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wear your mask. You've heard it all. While these incentives are extremely important and are heavily encouraged, a very important aspect is to keep your mental state in check.
You have to find a healthy middle between this and this.
Ah, yes, finally. Dude, I love being in isolation.
12 seconds later.
My best piece of advice is to keep your mind busy. For an example,
You could learn a new recipe, exercise, write a new book, find a new hobby, do a spring clean, read that book that has been collecting dust over the years, build new bonds with people you live with, own a new skill, take a shower, catch up on Grey's Anatomy, plan what you'll do after COVID clears up.
hell, play Kerbal Space Program all day. I don't care, as long as you're compliant. If it comes to it, working in an essential business is an option. Of course, you would need to comply with the protocols.
Whether it comes to science or politics, there are facts that prove right and wrong, and there are beliefs that decide between right and wrong. I want to go back to the question that this video circulated around. So what actually is social distancing? I mentioned by definition that is the physical distance between people that we must partake in to avoid spreading the coronavirus, but I believe that there's a little more to it. To me, social distancing is being able to respect those around you. It's about having empathy for others and making sure people around you are healthy and happy. In some cultures, people wear masks where they go outdoors while they feel sick. I think this is a lifestyle we should adopt in the States.
And what, you can't wear the mask? I mean, that's fine, but there are other options.
But think about the people who have immunosensitive people in their lives who mean a lot to them. And while you may feel fine, they may be at risk, and your actions may take them away from those that mean a lot to them.
And I think that wraps it up. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm